This is the Silver Wolf Howl. I am Angela, and today we are highlighting one of our investigation services, and we'll be chatting to Ryan about that. Hello, Ryan. Welcome back. Today we are going to be chatting about accident investigations.
Good morning, Angela, and good morning to the listeners.
What is an accident investigation? Can you give us a general idea of what it is about?
An accident investigation is going to the scene of the accident or the incident and marking off where vehicles and persons were at the time of the accident and taking measurements to also look at the scene for any other clues or any other leads that you can follow, and to also find out why an accident happened after hearing how it happened, because sometimes how and why don't really go hand in hand. And so we basically piece together things that is not really seen by the victims of the accident, the perpetrators of the accident, or people that was on the scene.
Why is an accident investigation necessary, taking into account the fact that SAPS usually attends at an accident scene and they do their scene sketch and, take witnesses' details and make a report on the accident? Why would an accident investigator be needed after they've done all of that already?
The reason why we have to end up doing an accident scene investigation is because so many things is going on when SAPS is on the scene, law enforcement, traffic, ambulance. It's directing traffic, it is controlling crowds that's gathering, it is making certain that the accident scene is secured. It is making certain that nobody who's witnesses just wander off. And so SAPS speaks to the drivers, speaks to whoever is injured. They not necessarily are approached by witnesses all the time, because there is so many different stories of how the accident happened, and SAPS can only do so much. And even when it comes to the accident reports, the sketches are not always as it should have been. You see, an accident scene is a rush situation because the traffic has to start again, and they are pressed for time. The ambulance is pressed for time because the patients have to leave. The law enforcement is pressed for time because they have to go somewhere else. Because between all this chaos, a lot of information is not noticed or taken into consideration or reported, and then you lose a lot on that specific point in time. So what we do, we go to the scene of the accident with the police report, and also if one of the drivers is available at the time, they will then point out to us the direction they were traveling and the other vehicle, or whatever the situation was. They tell us where they were at that point in time. We then mark off the points where it happened and where vehicles or people came to be at the after the incident. So we will then take measurements. We will look at the behaviors. So we will basically go to the scene, measure off, mark off, and document and put down all information that is there. From there, we will look at there's at the time of the day, what is traffic like on a day such as that. We will even go back and look at what the weather was for that day. Was it misty? Was it raining? Was it hot? Was it windy? All these factors play a major role in driver behavior and pedestrian behavior, if to put it like that. We then will go back to the scene at that time and actually physically see what behavior is like, where the accident happened, so that we can look at how traffic behave, how pedestrians behave, all these factors, so that we can match our not idea, but our conclusion of how things happened compared to what is on the police report.
And what kind of time frames do you work with? I mean, have these accidents happened maybe like 2 months ago or 2 years ago, or what kind of timelines do you work with when you start investigating an accident compared to when the accident happened?
Any time frame. We've worked on 3 months. We've worked on accidents that happened 5-7 years ago. We worked on an accident that happened 17 years ago. So we basically, if an accident happened, we'll be able to investigate it and find. In most cases, the information is there. You just need to dig deep.
Okay, so there's no real time limit or like expiry date for these accident investigations, and is that what you're saying?
Not at all. As long as there is reports and someone that can tell us this is how it happened and this is where it happened. From there, you'll be surprised to see how easy it is to get information, and because people have memory, especially when it comes to drama, and you'll be able to unravel that scene with matter like in a couple of days, just speaking to people.
Then do you find it easier or harder to get information or evidence on those older cases that happened years and years ago, with people's memories, finding physical evidence, those kinds of things?
It's also case specific. Sometimes the accident can happen last week and nobody saw anything, be it a hit and run, and you get accidents that happened 17 years ago where people remember there is accident reports, there is ambulance reports, there is such a lot of information. So each scenario is completely different. For some, it's just a cold case. For others, it can be 30 years old and the information is there. So it's all case specific.
Do you find that people or organizations, whoever was involved in the accident, are open to disclosing information, or is that affected by their position in the case? So in other words, if they have something to benefit from this, that they would, just give you lots of information and hope that, that will add to the investigation and buff their case. Or in situations where they don't have anything to lose or gain or whatever, they just feel, okay, well, I'll just give you the information as I know it. Or the other side of it, where they are maybe the ones that caused the accident and they feel like they're going to get into trouble or something like that. So they pretend that they don't have memory of it, or, fudge information so that it makes them look better than what the actual truth and facts are. Do you find that kind of contrasts in different accidents?
We get that all the time. We must remember that when someone needs to provide information, they provide information to their benefit. And be it a private person, be it a corporation, is always only to their benefit. We always remember that there is always two sides to a story. And some organizations, companies, persons, big corporates, they will hide something somewhere because someone is responsible. And sometimes it might not have been their fault, but when it comes to their history of, let's for example say, the audit reports, the maintenance reports, the reports in general are not up to date, or it's lacking inspection, or where things should have been in order. So people tend to hide information, and which could then turn the tide in whoever is, let's say, claiming from the road accident fund. So, or from the company. So it's basically it's information like that we find out where people are generally they speak for themselves, but they won't expose themselves, and that is what we do. That's what our job is, to find what's missing. Like I said, there is always two sides to a story. So we find what's missing, and we piece things together until to a point that it doesn't make sense. And why it won't make sense is because that one bit of information is not tying the story up. So, yeah, we do get that way. People, um, they don't disclose, but at the end of the day, we will find it.
Like Liam Neeson. Okay, so then, do claimants have to have all the records in order? So, must they have everything and then they just bring it to an attorney or to an investigator and that's how the claim works? Or if they've got only a little bit of, information at their disposal, a little report, or they couldn't get access to the SAPS report or something like that, does that affect how they can claim, or if they can claim at all?
Anybody can put in a claim who was involved in an incident and that want to claim from someone. And no matter how little information they have, they can then also consult with an attorney or lawyer's firm. And the attorneys will then tell them, look, this is what we need. And to get that information, it will take time. And this is where we come in, where the attorneys will say, look, let's get a accident investigator on board, and then we'll get that information for you, because the normal person in the street, they only just went to, let's say, SAPS, or they got very little, they had very little to report. But when we come on board, we actually do that for the person. But anybody can claim, as long as you know that you've consulted with the right people, they told you what to get. And from there, you'll be surprised the amount of information that can be obtained in a proper investigation.
Do people put in false claims, or where they have been in an accident, but they're thinking, oh, they can milk this, and get more money or something like that out of this whole claim. So they put in extra information, or pretend that they have more conditions as a result of this accident, or things like that. Are they generally honest about the whole thing, and then they just see, where the cards may fall? Or do they kind of try their luck sometimes?
Man, this is where it comes down to, you get people that are open and honest. They tell you exactly what has happened. If they were the victim and they want to claim, they will tell you exactly what happened, how it happened. And then they will tell you who's to blame. Then it's an open and shut case. You get cases where people are honest. Then you get people that want to claim, and they tell us their rendition of the story, their version of it. And especially in the case where the person that caused the accident maybe is now passed away, but the person that caused the accident actually done something because they're putting in the claim done something wrong, but don't want to accept it. So people tell us their version of the truth, and their version of the truth can only go so far, because once the investigation is done, we paint a picture, we look at the behaviors, of traffic wherever it happened, or whatever the situation was. We speak to people that saw things, and at the end of the day, there's always, like I said earlier, two sides to the story. And the person that's playing the victim sometimes becomes the perpetrator, sometimes become the person that actually caused the accident. And that's what we find out. We find out the truth. If you tell us one thing, we can find out another thing. So it's all case specific, and everyone's got a motive and objective for putting in a claim. But with the data that we gather, at the end of the day, you could be the perpetrator.
Okay, so I wouldn't get away with any shenanigans then, is what you're saying. Okay, I'll try to behave myself. So when it comes to witnesses, is their recollection reliable, and is it normally accurate? Or is there instances where, somebody genuinely thought that this is what happened, but then you find that their memory was not right, that they remembered incorrectly, but they weren't trying to cause anything or be scallum or anything like that?
Witnesses is and are the most important bit of we get the best information from them. They look at it from depending what angle they were sitting or where they were standing. For example, say a bus. You have the bus driver. Bus driver says the person swerved in front of them, coming from standing on the side of the road and just swerved. You get the passenger behind the bus driver that will say, no, this guy was just driving on the left-hand side in the emergency lane and just turned in front of the bus. So you got two stories. Bus driver says he just turned in front of the bus. The other one says he was driving in the left lane, in the emergency lane, and just swerved in front of the bus. Then we got a passenger that was sitting upstairs, and he says that the vehicle was over a matter of 20 kilometers going from the lane, the driving lane, into the emergency lane and out, So that's three stories. And that was accurate information because they all said basically the same thing. So that basically witnesses is key elements into most of the accident investigations that we do.
So you really just put a puzzle together, and if there are any pieces that are missing, you go and find them and put them there so that the picture is clearer, or that you can actually see the whole picture now, and verifying all of this information along the way so that is the accurate piece that needs to fit in there, that kind of thing. Am I summing it up correctly?
That is correct, yeah. As long as we are pointed in the right direction, they say that's where it happened, and from there we just start unraveling. It is an interesting process, and but yeah, it doesn't matter how old that puzzle, no matter how many pieces it consists of, we will find every piece.
What do you find most interesting about investigating accidents?
The details. It is you hear so many different things about one simple thing that happened, and people's imagination can run so wild that you will ask them a question, they will say something, and you kind of think like, now, what accident did you see? So just what people see and how you put it together is amazing. And some will say the horse ran across the road. Some will say that the horse was maybe on the trailer, or the horse was on the back of the bakkie. So you have to put together all these things, all these stories, and compare to what actually is in the report. But you have to, the more intriguing it gets, the more you lose sleep because you are really, really challenged to the point where it's becoming like a drama, So I don't watch a lot of TV because my work itself is very exciting.
Okay. So then tell me a little bit more about the major challenges that you face in these kinds of investigations.
Secrets. The secrets that the people keep, because when things happen, especially if something went down and nobody must know the truth, it's that secrets, and it is challenging and yet exciting because without training, you're sitting and you're speaking to people and you know that there's a secret between the three of them because they have this Morse code with their eyes, their hands, their entire body goes into the state of communication like hummingbirds and ants, They think we don't see it, but it's getting that secret out into the open that is, I won't say challenging. It's it challenges our excitement, So it's just getting the truth from the people, and the truth is out there, Like they say, the truth is out there. So not everything is always a secret at the end of the day.
So despite challenges and, things maybe not going your way and you're having sleepless nights and because your drama is getting too intense, it sounds like you still find joy in doing these investigations and this work.
Yes, I do. The reason why is because there's someone that has been impacted negatively. And sometimes this person was minding their own business, doing their normal thing. And now they, for example, quadriplegics, No one can speak for them. No one can do... the only thing people can do for them is get them out of bed, feed them, wash them. And but they were painted as being the person that was the perpetrator or the person that caused the incident. So that basically for me is speaking for them, finding that answers for them when nobody, I won't say bothered to look, but no one knew where to look. So for me, that is the rewarding bit. And also, people live with the guilt of something, and when it comes out, they, approached by the facts and the truth, and it basically sometimes makes them, come to terms with the action. So yeah, it's rewarding.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time and for chatting to me today and giving clarity on what you do and what you find rewarding about this and all the information and stuff that you shared. Thanks for joining me today.
No, I'm glad to have been here. Yeah, it's just a note to the listeners. There's never too late a time to find out the truth about something that has happened. We are here to do that for you. So there's always a way to get closure and to close a certain chapter in your life. So we are here. If you need any investigating, that's what we do.